Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest edition of the Clips of the Week for the 2023 Oregon High School football season. You'll notice a slight change in our graphics this week as we will now be the OSAA Clips of the Week. Thank you to all of the coaches and officials from around the state who continue to send in clips for us to review. We are making great progress on our effort to have one rule, one interpretation, and one mechanic. We have a number of clips to look at this week. Let's jump right into those. So on our first clip, I want to set the stage here. The offense had lined up for a field goal and the defense had called a timeout. And now the teams are coming out of the timeout and getting set. And we know that as officials, the earlier we can get a count of our players, the better. And we can pause here and look at the number of players on the defense. And we can see that there are 11 players on screen. But we clipped this from the NFHS network rather than using Huddle. And what we're going to see here is the back judge does an excellent job of recognizing a 12th player. And we can see them coming in on the left side of the screen here. Now, by philosophy, we have always instructed back judges to kill the play and throw a flag for an illegal substitution rather than illegal participation or allowing that to happen. And as you can see here, the back judge counts and recounts again, but comes up with 11 players. There are clearly 12 on the field. So an excellent job by the back judge for recognizing that there was 12 players originally, throwing the flag so that we can have an illegal substitution foul rather than illegal participation. However, upon recounting, only manages to count 11 players. Now, we don't see the official on the radio at all asking for help, but in a situation like this, it's recommended to say, count the defense, or something like that, and get help from your other officials. It does appear here that the other officials are not quite sure what the back judge is doing. And had another official been able to count, they would have seen that there was easily 12 players on the field. So mechanically, we did a lot of good things here. However, we missed that there are 12 players on the field, and we can clearly see that at this point in time. Now, as this play continues to develop, it appears that the defensive team catches this and they'll eventually call a timeout. So good job by the back judge here, but make sure to finalize that count and verify it. One thing that we ask coaches in our pregame meetings is if they have any special or trick plays for us. And coaches, this is a good opportunity to let us know if you have that so we can be prepared for it. And we guess that this is something that this crew was prepared for here. As we watch this play develop, we're going to notice that we have a backwards pass to number 55. And they were able to run for a touchdown. And we have excellent mechanics here by the line judge who is at the line of scrimmage at the time the runner crosses the goal line. This is a legal play. Although number 55 is not eligible by number, this is a backwards pass. And players numbered 50 through 79 can catch a backward pass and become a runner. Excellent job by this crew. We've talked a lot this year about scrimmage kicks and how they can pose difficulties for officials, especially if they're not looking in the right area. On this play, we're going to have a punt play with 2 flags from the line judge. Now, first off, they use excellent mechanics here, and they're going to notice a block in the back near midfield by a member of the return team. Now, they continue to officiate the play, and they do an excellent job of continuing to officiate, and they're going to notice a block around the 35. And they throw a flag here. So they have 2 flags, and they continue to officiate the play. So let's watch this again. And again, a great job here by the line judge, who's going to not be ball watching, but rather looking at blocks in front of the returner. They do an excellent job of picking up the block in the back near midfield. However, we want to make sure that we're seeing the entire play when we're calling a foul. And on the blindside block that gets called here, this should not be a foul for a blindside block. While it meets the definition partially of a blindside block in that the opponent could not see the block coming, this is not a forceful block. In fact, the blocking player does exactly what we would want them to do in this situation and use a basketball screen type block. So again, if they use a block like this or open hands, this is not a foul. Now, the member of the return team is significantly larger than a member of the kicking team, but that has no bearing on this. So obviously, the member of the kicking team falls to the ground, but this was a legal block. All in all, an excellent job here by the line judge, but this was not a blindside block. The next two frames that we want to show here are examples of illegal formations that were not called. As we've talked about in earlier episodes, if this was early in the game, we want to make sure that we're talking to the coach to clean up the formation. But we can see here that we have as many as 6 players in the offensive backfield. Both receivers to the head linesman side are off. We have a tight end that is off the line. We have a running back and a quarterback, and the right tackle is not breaking the waist of the snapper. This is not a legal formation, and unfortunately we do not get a flag on this play. Now this is the same game and same team, and this is further along in the game, and we can see here again that we have an illegal formation. Now on neither of these plays did we have an illegal formation called. We're not going to play the clips, but we just wanted to look at these different frames here. We want to make sure that we're getting this action cleaned up. That right tackle is nowhere close to breaking the waistband of the snapper. We have the tight end off. We have another slot receiver off, the running back and the quarterback. So 2 clear illegal formation fouls. Again, if this was early in the game, we'd want to talk to. Both of these are well into the game, and we should have fouls here for illegal formation. The next clip's going to show another illegal block below the waist by a defender against a member of the offense. And we've seen this called a couple of times in previous editions of our clips of the week. And we just want to continue to highlight excellent officiating by the referee who is looking through a runner and notices a block below the waist by a member of the defense. This is an easy call to miss, but it's an excellent job by the referee on this play to recognize the illegal action by a member of the defense. We also get to see this from the end zone view. And if we pause it here, just want to highlight the excellent positioning by both the center judge and the referee. We do recommend that the center judge and the referee are on the edge of the free blocking zone, and we can see that here. The referee is deeper than the center judge, and we're going to see that the referee, again, does an excellent job looking through the runner and picking up the illegal block below the waist by a member of the defense. Great job by this referee. We talked about an earlier clip seeing the whole play. And this is an example that from one angle, the action of the play looks a lot worse than what is actually happening. So we're going to let this clip run and ask yourself if you have a foul. So our line judge is in excellent position here. It appears that perhaps we have a late hit out of bounds. We do not have a flag by the line judge. The line judge does an excellent job of continuing to watch the players go out of bounds. But let's watch this play from the end zone view. And as the quarterback rolls to the right and goes out of bounds, we're going to notice that the contact started inbounds, and the second defender actually never makes contact with the quarterback. So we do not have a foul here. Excellent work by this line judge. We have a lot to look at on this play here. One of the old adages that we talk about with officials is to see the whole play and see the ball before we declare a runner down, a touchdown scored, etc. We want to make sure that we know where the ball is before we blow our whistle. So on this play, we're going to see that the quarterback drops back to pass, and then they become a runner. Now, we have excellent positioning by the back judge. They should have retreated as the players push them off of the goal line, but they end up being in good position here. Again, we'd encourage that back judge to have moved back and then move towards the goal line to help rule on this. But let's watch the end of this run here. And we're going to notice the ball is loose before the runner crosses the goal line. And we have initially good patience by the wing official here. But let's watch what happens. So they have called a touchdown here. And let's watch that again from the time of the fumble. So we actually have a clear recovery here by a member of the defense. The wing does a good job of trying to sell this as a touchdown, but they were way too quick on their whistle. The offensive team never had clear possession of the ball in the end zone. In fact, a member of the defense recovers this either in the end zone or around the half-yard line. We'd probably give it to them in the end zone and a touchback here. Now, in reality, what we have here is an IW, an inadvertent whistle. We blow the play dead while the ball is still loose. So we'd have to go back to the spot of the fumble here. One thing we always say is no cheap turnovers and no cheap scores. Unfortunately, we do have a cheap score here where we ruled a touchdown when a member of the defense actually recovered the fumble. So in looking at this play, let's talk about keys real quick. The back judge should have the receiver to the line judge's side, the outside receiver. There is press coverage there, so the back judge should be paying attention to that. The line judge would have the slot receiver, as that is their key. And as this play develops, we should be watching those blocks in front of the receiver. And we're going to notice here that there is a hand to the face by a member of the defense against a player on offense. Their helmet ends up coming off. So we have one of two potential fouls here. If there was a grasp and a twist of that face mask, we would have a personal foul face mask penalty. We could also have illegal use of hands by a member of the defense. Now in this case, the penalty would be the same, half the distance to the goal line. The question is, did we see this foul? And we do not have a flag on this play. Now, a member of the offense has lost their helmet, and we know by rule they are no longer allowed to participate in the play, or we could have a foul for illegal participation. This action by number 21 is not participation. Now, they also do not have to go off the field if we throw a flag here for a foul. Now, in this case, the crew did not throw a flag. Thus, the member of the offense who lost their helmet does have to sit off for a play. But had the crew called a foul for a face mask or illegal use of hands, number 21 could stay in the game. This is another frame just to show real quick mechanic that we are no longer using, and that is that a referee and the center judge are not switching positions in the backfield when there's a left-handed quarterback. So we're just going to pick this frame here. The offense has a left-handed quarterback. The referee has switched sides with the center judge. We do not do this anymore. The referee will always be on the right side of the formation, and the center judge will always be on the left. Thus, if you have a left-handed quarterback, you may become primary for that if the quarterback scrambles to your left, but the quarterback is still primary for the referee, even if they're left-handed, and the referee is on the right side of the formation. So referee and center judge Do not switch positions in the offensive backfield. You always stay on the same side, regardless if the quarterback is right-handed or left-handed. Well, that's it for this edition of the Clips of the Week. Thank you again to all of the coaches and officials from around the state of Oregon who have sent in clips for us to review. All clips have been vetted by Kevin Hatfield, our Oregon State rules interpreter for football. If you have any questions for Kevin, you can email him at the address on the screen. If you have a clip that you would like us to review, please email that to the address that you see on your screen as well. We might not use the clip in a future episode, but we will make sure to review it and respond to you as soon as possible. Thank you all, and good luck with your games this week.